Any teacher, coach, or expert can make $10,000 per month, and it is very, very easy. Today in this video, I'm going to tell you about the different steps that you need to take if you're not at $10,000 a month yet. If you're a teacher or a coach or an expert of anything, then you need to follow these steps so that you can very easily have at least $10,000 a month, and then you can build from there. But if you're not there yet, then you need to follow these steps. And there are three parts to this video. First, we're going to talk about the math. We're going to talk about the numbers that you need to be focused on, because too many people try to shoot too high too fast. And then they get depressed, they get frustrated when they look at other people who have bigger results than them, and they start to think that what they're doing isn't effective, but it is. And really, if you just start with these small steps that I'm going to share with you today, then you're going to be ahead of all of the people who are thinking that they have to build $1 billion company right now, who think that they need to have $1 million next week to be successful. And that's not the case, because it takes time to build something big, and you need to start small. That's why I'm saying $10,000, and it really is that easy. So that's the first thing we're going to look at, is the math. Then we're going to look at what are the steps to get there. And then we're also going to look at what the formats that you need to use are. Because as you grow and bring on more students, you're going to find that you have less time. And that becomes a problem as you add more and more students. As you add more students, your priority is going to shift, and the format that you deliver your value or your knowledge or information in is also going to shift. And that's really important to know ahead of time, that you're not going to be stuck. We actually have an escape plan that we're going to give you. And one thing that you need to know is that focusing on $10,000 a month in the beginning is the most sane way to approach this, right? If you've been trying to start your own thing, or if you've been trying to get out of a job, or if you've just been at it for a while and you've had clients on and off, but it's not really working out, and you're not able to hit that $10,000 a month mark consistently every month for at least the last 2 years, then you need to follow this advice. My name's Christopher Huntley from teachingrevolution.com, where we help you sell the knowledge you already have to people who need it, and we help you get more students online. And one of the things that I've created is called the 100 times 100 system. And this is really the simplest way for you to reach $10,000 a month. It's so simple to understand. I'm going to tell it to you right now. 100 times 100. You get 100 people to pay you $100 per month, and boom, you've reached $10,000 a month. Now, it really is that simple, but you might be thinking, how do I add those students? How do I find them? How do I get them to pay? How do I convince them to pay me $100 a month? Well, giving someone $100 a month of value isn't so hard. It's not as hard as giving them $10,000 a month of value. You can do that. And sure, there are ways that you could get one client paying you $10,000 a month, but are they going to stay with you consistently, and are you going to be able to deliver? That's a big headache and a big frustration for a lot of the teachers and coaches that I've talked to. So instead, what you can do is you can build a bigger safety net by having a larger pool of students who are paying you. And if you're not sure how to deliver $100 a month of value, then we'll show you that. Like, that's part of my system. But today, let's first talk about the math. 100 students at $100 a month, that's easy. That, in my opinion, is the easiest way to go about solving this problem. But there are other options. Another way that you can get there is you can sell 10 hours of your time for $200 each. And if you do that every week for a year, well, you'll have $100,000 or over $100,000. So that will put you at $10,000 per month. But when you're first starting out, it might be difficult for you to believe that you can sell hours for $200, or you might have trouble convincing other people. You might have trouble demonstrating enough value in order for them to pay you $200 an hour. That's why I usually say that that's an option that you come to a little bit later. And that's why the 100 times 100 system is a better option when you're starting out, in my opinion. Now, another way that you could do this is you could have 10 sales every day for $30. And that might sound a little easier to get someone to pay you $30, but how are you going to consistently generate 10 sales per day? you're going to have a lot of traffic, a lot of attention, a lot of people coming to you. And unless you already have a big audience built, that might also sound overwhelming to you. How am I going to get 10 people every single day to pay me $30? And most people who are getting 10 sales every day, they're running paid advertising. And then that eats into the money that you're making. So that's another reason why I suggest starting with 100 times 100. But when I say 100 times 100, it doesn't have to be limited to that, right? Instead, you could sell for $625 every quarter, every 3 months, and then you only need 40 students to do that. And that comes out to a little more than $200 every month. But again, if you're just starting out, you might find it difficult for yourself to sell at that price point of $625 for someone to pay that upfront for a 3-month period. It depends on what you're selling, but this is again why I say that 100 times 100 is the best and the easiest way for you to really get started. Or if you already are in that like $2,000, $3,000 per month range, then this is the best and easiest way to move forward. And the next question, after you've settled on which math equation you want to follow, and that really defines what your business model is, because the economics of your business is the model. And the economics is where you're going to win or lose. If the math makes sense, then it's much easier for everything else to make sense. And so now we need to decide, how are we going to deliver that value? And I'm going to tell you about 5 different formats that you might deliver in. Most people start out delivering one-on-one. And one-on-one to 100 different students is doable, but I wouldn't advise it, right? That's one way that you can start, and a lot of people start like that. It's something that's easy and they know, and if you don't understand any other format, then that's the one to go with. But the second format is groups. You can put people into groups and you can teach them collectively, and $100 a month of value is easy to deliver in a group. Now, when you're delivering to a group, you're still selling your time and spending your time in order to deliver that value to them. So that's why it's less attractive than some of the other options, like selling content. Selling content is a great way to go too. And $100 a month of content means that you're basically spending a lot of time creating content. But the beauty of it is that after you've created enough of the content, you don't really have to create a lot more. You can spend more time interacting instead of just creating more and more content. It is a little more difficult to convince people that they should pay $100 a month and keep paying it if they're just getting content, and especially if you're not putting out new content consistently. And that's why a lot of people who are just starting find it easier to sell one-on-ones and groups. Now, another way that you could go about this is you could deliver value through a community. And this is a really good one. I really love doing this. And selling through a community is another form of selling content, but it's much easier for you to maintain delivering value over time because the community itself is an added value piece. What they get from being in the community, membership, they get support, they get content that's not always just produced by you because the other members are in there doing things, taking action, and sometimes creating content also. A community is another great way for you to deliver value, and you can charge $100 a month for someone to come into a community, and if your community is good enough and valuable enough, then they'll stay longer. But my favorite format for delivering content is what's called hybrid, and this is where you mix these other formats together. So you might have a community and content and groups. And this is really great if you already have some content that you can deliver to them. And then the community itself is added value. And then you get on a call once a week or twice a week with everybody who's in the community and you bring it all together. That's really my favorite way of doing it. So now you have the first 2 pieces. Now you know the math. You know how the business model is going to work. You know how you're going to deliver your product and your value because you've chosen one-on-ones, groups, content, community, or a mix of those. And now it's time to talk about how you're going to get those people in, because that's really the hardest part of the equation, right? In our 100 times 100 system, we go through choosing which strategy is right for you. How do you acquire new customers, new clients, new students? And really the first step of this is not even to get students or clients or customers at all. The first step is to get the audience. You see, you first need to get attention and build trust with the audience. You need to have the right audience. You need to be talking to the right people. That's the step that a lot of people get impatient with and skip, or they just don't do it the right way, so they waste a lot of time. And the purpose of building the audience is so that later they can convert into customers. And we need to make a clear line, a clear definition of what these different words are: an audience, a customer, and a client. So your audience is basically all of the people who are going to see you and know you. So this includes your customers and clients, but there's also a lot of people out there who aren't buying from you. But when they know about you, they might tell other people who want to buy from you. And so your audience is really that first step that you need to develop in order to get the sales that you want. If you get too impatient and you think that it's just going to take one day, you're going to write a post one time and then people are going to buy from you automatically, that's just not how it works. People will try to sell you on that, and it sounds easier, but in the 100 times 100 system, you'll really see what the easiest way to $10,000 a month is, because you need to build an audience first. You need to spend a little bit of time doing that and connecting with them to build up that trust. And then you can transition into having customers. Customers are people who buy things from you, right? They spend money with you, and not all of them are going to be repeat buyers. Not all of them will be repeat customers. In the 100 times 100 system, we talk about getting people to pay $100 a month, and some of the people who come in and buy don't stay. That's natural. That's normal. That happens all the time, but there is a way that you can get them to stay longer and reduce churn or loss of subscribers or members that are paying you every month. And the whole purpose of having customers is so that they turn into clients. And clients are really the people who stay with you long term. They're getting a service from you regularly. And that's where you want to be. That's the key. That's the holy grail. That's the main source of revenue for your business, and that's going to be the main source of your income. So following the steps to correctly communicate with your audience, to turn them into customers, and then turn those customers into clients, this is key. And that's why I say that this $100 price point is optimal. It's the best way to transition someone through these stages. And now when we bring all of this together, we have the math, which is the business model. We have the format, which is the product and how we deliver it. And then we have the 3 steps of turning people into clients. When you bring it all together, that's how you can easily, very easily, get to $10,000 a month. It's a simple process. It's very, very simple. So many people have done this. You can just look around and see it happening everywhere. And for some reason, people skip steps. People jump ahead. And you know what? You don't have to spend 2 months or 3 months learning how to do it. It's very easy to learn. And it's the implementation where you just need some help and support. So in the 100 times 100 system, that's really what we do. And if you want a link to that, it's under the video. But using what you've learned in this video, you should be able to get started and have a general framework of how this works and how you can get to $10,000 a month. You can also contact us at the email address or one of the links under this video. I'll put something down there to my Facebook or LinkedIn, and you can get in touch with us and you can find out more. But as far as this video goes, just remember the math, the format, and then the 3 steps. That's all I have for this video. I'll see you in the next one.